Once, in the heart of the ancient world, a city stood tall, Babylon, a fortress of gold, pride, and seemingly unstoppable power. Inside its palace, under glittering lights and pouring wine, King Belshazzar celebrated. He mocked the God of Israel, drinking from sacred cups stolen from the destroyed Temple of Jerusalem, raising toasts to lifeless idols. But that night, everything changed. From thin air, a glowing hand appeared and wrote mysterious words on the palace wall. No one could understand it, and fear gripped the king like never before. That writing wasn't just a warning, it was a countdown. Babylon's days were numbered. Now here's where the story gets wild. While Babylon was still partying behind its massive walls, an army was already at the gates, not with brute force, but with divine timing and quiet strategy. The man leading them? A king named Cyrus, young, ambitious, and Persian. He didn't worship the God of Israel. He'd never set foot in Jerusalem. He didn't even exist yet when God first spoke his name through a prophet. You see, decades earlier, the prophet Isaiah had written something that made no sense at the time. He wrote that a man named Cyrus would rise up, defeat nations, and rebuild the city of Jerusalem. He called him God's anointed. A strange thing to say about a future king from a foreign empire. But Isaiah was right. Cyrus broke through Babylon's defenses without a full-scale war. It was one of history's greatest tactical takeovers, and more than that, it was the fulfillment of a divine plan. After conquering Babylon, Cyrus did something no one expected. He set the Jewish people free. He told them, "Go home, rebuild your city, rebuild your temple." Let that sink in. A man who didn't grow up with their faith became the key to their freedom. Why? Because God had called him long before he ever wore a crown. The Jewish people had been in exile for 70 years. Their hopes had faded. Their songs of Zion had gone quiet. But Cyrus was the turning point. He issued a royal decree. All Jews could return to Jerusalem. Not only that, but he gave back the sacred temple items that Babylon had looted and funded the rebuilding project with silver, gold, and resources from the empire. And just like that, what had felt like the end became the beginning of restoration. But of course, the journey wasn't easy. Not everyone was happy to see the Jews return. Enemies tried to stop the construction. They wrote letters accusing the Jews of plotting rebellion. The work on the temple slowed. Doubt crept in again. So Cyrus stepped in once more. He sent a message across his provinces. Do not interfere. Let them build. And with that final backing, the temple rose again. You see, Cyrus wasn't just a conqueror. He was a vessel. A reminder that God can use anyone, for a higher purpose. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to come from the right background. You don't even have to know the whole story. When God calls, he equips. And what does that mean for us? It means your story isn't too broken. It means your past doesn't disqualify you. It means restoration is always possible, even when it seems like all hope is gone. Cyrus's name is written not just in history books, but in the pages of Scripture as a testimony that God's plan always finds a way. Closing thought. No matter who you are or where you're from, if God can use Cyrus to bring freedom and healing to an entire nation, then imagine what he can do through you.